Okay, here's the square foot or the footing forms all put together and are ready to go in the ground. A couple of things I did, I'll just mention. So I ended up drilling little holes, 2 on each side, 3/8 inch diameter, and I'm going to stick some just landscape spikes in there. Here we go, something like this. These little plastic or composite spikes. So when I get them down in the hole, I can, when I get them down there and get them positioned, they don't move around as I pour the concrete in there. And I don't know how much it'll, I don't know if I'll have a problem with the tube lifting up as I pour concrete in there, but it might help with that too. But I suspect that wouldn't have been a problem. So. I do have the rebar tied up in there. I used some just 14 gauge Romex, tore it apart, and tied a little piece to each corner inside, and then ran the wires up, up these 2 holes here, and then twisted them together. And so the rebar is kind of floating in there. There's no little feet or standoffs underneath the rebar. So I think I used a 2-inch standoff, and then I set it on top of a 2x, so it's what, 3.5 inches off the ground, give or take. So it's about in the middle of the form. And then I also tied my verticals to it, and they're just kind of hanging up here, tied together. So I'm going to just position those as I get about half of the thing formed, and then I'll move the verticals around and get them positioned where I want. Might have to add a few spacers along the way there. Another thing I did, I realized it was going to be difficult to carry. I put these all together last night here in the garage. Got the rebar all, put together and tied up to the bases. But I added these handles, which I had from, I don't know, I had them laying around the house. I think they were from a finished basement job. I had these come on the pre-finished door so you can carry them. So, but I keep everything, so I kept these, and luckily they came in handy. So, but anyways, adding a few handles helps one man carry it down, and otherwise you're holding it by the base, which isn't that hard anyways, but the handles do make it a little bit easier just to maneuver it. So if you have anything like that, you may consider it. The other thing, let's see. This particular sonotube here is the one that was too small. So as you can see, I had to cut vertical slits every so often. I have all of them screwed into the base every so often. This one I did every single little tab, but I think on the other 2 that actually fit normally, I only did maybe 4 to 6 screws. I had some old caulk laying around, so I went in and caulked everything last night and let it cure. I'm pouring concrete this morning, so that may help with just a little bit of leakage of the concrete and the water coming out of that joint. So hopefully you don't get any of that. Other than that, that's pretty well it. I might do another video as I get them poured. So good luck. Just another little note about putting them together. So as I was turning off my previous video, I noticed I had a lot of shavings here and almost forgot. So the way that I cut off the unused portion, I just used a saw, a hand saw, and went right in, held the saw horizontally and went in right at the joint where I needed to cut it at, and it cut pretty easily. I used a coarse toothed saw. So that's all it took, no power tools or anything like that. It is too thick for a razor blade, but yeah, just a simple little hacksaw or wood saw will do. So, well, here I am, dark out, 4 bags from being finished. Actually 2, I'm gonna have 2 extra. And this one that was too small, I had to cut slits to make it fit. Just busted. So close. So I'm going to try to make this work somehow. I'm not sure how. Split right at the seam there. This is not going to work. What a mess. Okay, here I am 2 days later, and we've re-poured the center column. So it turned out all right. Ended up cleaning it off pretty good at the bottom the night that it failed. Well, now it's full of concrete, but it was basically just pushed all that concrete out into the excavation, to the hole. Afterwards, hosed it off real good, the square tube, so that I had a good clean base to start with today. So anyways, picked up another 16-incher, went ahead and took a tape measure with me to the store and made sure I got one that fit, of course. Ended up having to do a concrete drill to attach it. Just put in 4 Tapcons, and then I did some Gorilla Glue adhesive right beforehand on the inside, just to keep from leaking out, but I don't really know how good that was, but I didn't wait much time, maybe 20 minutes before I started pouring. So anyways, I just poured about an hour ago, so everything's still really wet, but got it in here, got my bubble level on there. Used the laser measure to measure from the house and got it evened up with those other ones, and that's pretty well it. So crisis avoided. Seems to have turned out all right. So that's that.